This video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Josh and Rebecca Momini. Lori Roberts. Good morning, Lori. Drinks. Lord 6. Bird of Prey 5. Kapla, Brother Bird. Kapla. Mark the Infinitely Tired. Purple Lady and Samantha Joe. The Valkyries are here. Good morning, ladies. Captain Spire. Good morning. Let's talk Star Trek. Jesse, how are you doing, brother? We're going to tear this shit up. Yes, sir. Mountains of Elysium. Mark the Infinitely Tired. Robert Pearson. Good morning, Rob. How are you doing, brother? Max World Entertainment. Trey, my brother from another mother. How are you doing this morning, brother? Chris Persia, the wrench of wrenches, is here. Good morning, Chris. Jeff B., how are you doing, brother? I saw Eris of Chaos in here earlier. Good morning, Eris. Jedi Bill 797. How are you doing, brother? Nina Green, good morning, Nina. How are you this morning, Nina? Guys, thank you so much for being here. Crimson Mist, Broken Entertainment, Canuck, the asshole Canuck is here. Oh, shit. I can call him that, though. Captain Shrek, my other wrench. Good morning, Cap. How are you doing this morning, brother? Guys, girls, how is everything going? It is Monday. And we're talking 80s movies this morning with my good friend, Speaker for the Dead. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
Yeah, man. So I was thinking yesterday, and the Ambassador. Good morning, Ambassador. How are you doing, brother? And yeah, I know you missed it. It's the 80s. It's the 80s show. And you're like, you son of a bitch, Loki, you let me out. I'm like, well, I had to come up with something good for Speaker, man. I thought about that all yesterday. We were talking back and forth, and I was like, man, we can talk sci-fi. We can talk, TV shows. And I was like, why not just great kick-ass movies from the 80s? Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool? I'm going to switch that and we get the Starfield going. So, you know what? I saw something thrown out there a couple of times. And let's talk Star Trek 80 action when men were macho and the ammo never ran out. That's right. That's right, dude. And they made fun of that shit in so many movies, man. I think it was it Hot Shots Part 2 that he's got like this machine gun that never runs out of ammo. And he's like, and it's like more kills than Rambo, more kills than RoboCop, more kills than Terminator, more kills than this or that. And you're like, damn, dude, whole world ends and he's still got more kills and he's still shooting and he's still going. Because, yeah, they just never ran out of ammo. They could have a 6-shooter and be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shots. Yeah.
Who has time to change clips when you've got so many people to kill? I mean, just keep going.
Oh, shit. That is absolutely right, man. Oh, so someone brought up Big Trouble in Little China. You want to start there?
Oh, my gosh. That is. Yes. Yes, please.
The storms, dude. I love the storms.
Yes.
Man,
that whole movie. I remember seeing that and the first time as a kid thinking, what is this? And then by about like the first halfway through, I'm just like, this is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, you think it's going to be like, some kind of chop socky like normal action flick, and you get about the time they pull the truck into that back alley and you see the Lords of Death for the first time. And, you know, the guys are like passing the truck with machetes and machine guns and all that shit. And you're like, oh shit, you know? And then the other guys just drop that casket and start pulling, you know, golden sticks and all kinds of shit out of it. And you're like, oh my God, what is this? What the hell is this?
Well, and being a truck driver now, I mean, that movie has kind of some special significance for me and stuff. It's sad because that's the way truck driving used to be. You used to hear crazy guys talking real funny and cool when you're out on the road, and now everybody just uses a CB to swear at each other. There's no real conversation, or it's not very fun anymore. But I mean, that's what I love about that movie, is because it goes back to that time of when trucking was actually cool and they were coming out with actual trucking movies, you know, and it wasn't seen as such a bad thing. And I mean, and you've got Kurt Russell being a truck driver. Oh, that speech when he's on there and he's always talking on the CB, you know, I love his dialogues where he's just kind of talking to nobody.
Yep, he's just talking out in the void. That's one of the things that I absolutely loved about that. And there was another one, Pump Up the Volume. I don't remember whether that was in the 80s or the 90s, but same thing. He's just talking, and you get that radio talk. And I don't know, you know, if you remember shit like Black Bear on your donkey over. You'd hear all kinds of weird shit like that, and you're like, what the hell are they talking about? Well, Black Bear was state trooper. On your donkey was on your ass. So it was like you hear code and shit. They had their own language, and you know, because I drove a truck too.
Convoy,
convoy. Damn,
and Smokey and the Bandit. I mean, there was, but yeah, it's just that. I don't know, that movie. I need to go watch it again. It's been a while since I've seen Big Trouble in Little China. I need to go buy it before, for some reason or other, they decide we're going to take that off and we can't have it anymore.
You do not have it?
No, I don't.
Damn, I got it. I think I got it on Blu-ray out of like a $5 Walmart bin like a couple of years ago. I just happened to be, I was like, holy shit, Big Trouble in Little China on Blu-ray. I want it. It's mine, coming home with me. And I had no idea how it got there, because you never see shit like that at Walmart.
No, you always see the ones that like there's 30 of them in the bin because nobody else wants it either. So, but yeah, I remember Kim Cattrall from that. That was the first time I really remember seeing her in something.
Yeah.
She was so hot. I know I'm married, so I have to be careful how I say that, or the ambassador will get mad at me. But
oh God!
I can look. I just don't touch or anything like that.
I have it on Blu-ray. Yes, I can hear him saying that. Do it. Put it on Blu-ray. Oh, the Emperor. That's what you should be called, dude. Not the ambassador. Do it.
But oh yeah, the Storms, the lightning guy, the guy that blows up. I can't remember which one he is. Which one's the one that gets all like becomes huge and steam shoots out of his nostrils?
He's Wind.
That's right.
Wind. Yeah, he's the Wind. The guy who threw the ball was Thunder, and then Lightning. You had Lightning. Yeah. Wind, Thunder, and Lightning.
Oh, I love this. I don't know, you know, and that was the first real film where I felt like you get a little bit of a glimpse into the Chinese culture and stuff, where, I mean, and I know it's a totally screwed up way of looking at that, but I mean, it was just it was a fun thing because there was so much mysticism involved in it. I can't remember the guy's name. He plays the guy that's with Jack throughout most of the movie. And he's the one that's talking to the guy at the beginning, and he has the lightning go between his fingers. I wish I could remember that guy's name, but he's the Asian guy that kind of is his guide. But
are you talking about Egg Young Chow?
Yeah, I think that's his name. But they're down in the tunnels, and you know that big thing comes out and eats the one guy, and he throws this thing, and it in front of the tunnel. He's like, it won't come out anymore. And Kurt Russell's like, what won't come out anymore? Just freaking out. Oh.
And Captain Spire, I have got it, dude. I've had that since it came out on GOG. All the Star Trek games that are on GOG, all the Star Wars games, all the ancient games you cannot get anywhere else on GOG. I've got them, dude. I've had them for years. Absolutely wonderful place. Guys, if you are out there and you are a computer gamer or a computer nerd and you love shit from the 80s and 90s, go to GOG. They most likely have it.
Can you actually get it to work on your computer, though? That's my problem.
Yes, it's designed to. So it runs in, if it cannot run in Windows, it runs in a program called DOSBox, where it's basically emulating DOS to run the game.
Oh.
So yeah, it all runs like it should. And a lot of the games have new options. They have certain options, and not all of them. A lot of them just have the old options, but they're designed to run at full everything, like they would have if you had a maxed out system back in the day. So you don't have to worry about tinkering or patching or any bullshit like that.
See, that would be awesome, because like I love the game, the Star Trek game, Armada, the first one.
They do not have Armada.
No, of course they don't.
They don't have any of the games, and the reason why is they don't have any of the games from Activision. Any game that was made, so Star Trek, Elite Force, Bridge Commander, because of the lawsuit between Activision and it wasn't Paramount at the time, it was Viacom. Because of that lawsuit, none of the games are available. None of the games will ever be available. But there is a place you can go and download them where they have been patched to run on current systems. But I cannot say where over the air, so I'll just hook you up with that when we get off of here. Trust me, I love my Activision Star Trek games. Star Trek Armada, Star Trek Armada 2, all that shit, Elite Force, and Bridge Commander. So yeah, of course I'm gonna know where you can get. And they have Vampire the Masquerade. They have both Vampire the Masquerade games. There, the originals that came out in like the 90s. So in the early 2000s. I can't figure out how to play it. You have Armada. That's good. If you have Armada 2, that bitch, and the book and the case, that bitch is worth like $200 right now on eBay. I have that, and I've been thinking about getting rid of it.
Wow.
So, but yeah, that Armada 2, dude, it was only out for 3 or 4 months before that lawsuit happened. So they never made a second run.
Oh.
Whereas Armada 1 has had like 4 different public releases, Armada 2 only had 1. It only came out in one in its original packaging, and that was it.
See, and I had it, and I couldn't figure out how to play it. They changed, and they tried to do a 3D kind of system, and I was just like, you know what? I'm lost. I don't know what the hell's going on here. And I was pretty game savvy at the time, but I couldn't get it to work for me. But everybody seemed to love that one because it was more of a 3D. You could go up and down and stuff. But I'm just like, I don't know how I'm supposed to get to where the hell I want to go.
Yep. So, and Robert Pearson brings up something really cool. Kim Cattrall, Big Trouble in Little China. Porky's. I love Terry's the gym coach in Porky's. Oh my God. Police Academy and Mannequin. All 80s, all amazing, and one of my biggest crushes. Yep.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that, Robert Pearson.
Yep, especially in Mannequin.
Yep.
She just has like I don't know. There's something about that. I mean, because it's kind of a goofy film, but I love that movie. It's so funny. I mean, you got Estelle Getty, 3'5" of just absolute funny, running around the big store and stuff. I mean, and it had a great cast. I mean, it has James Spader, Kim Cattrall. I can't think of what the other the main guy's name. Just lost it. If anybody remembers, but he was big in the 80s. He did Weekend at Bernie's and stuff like that. But yeah, that was a fantastic movie. And it was, like I said, it was a goofy movie, but it was fun. Back when it was actually okay to do that. And the guy that played the gay character, Hollywood, holy crap, that guy is funny.
Yes, that guy, absolutely, positively, I laughed my ass off. I absolutely laughed my ass off.
I mean, me and my wife still quote that at each other, like when we're, they call to me in the night, he's talking about the jelly donuts and stuff. We'll just sit there and start laughing because, we both want something to eat.
Yeah, yeah.
They just can't stop.
Hollywood. Yeah.
Hollywood.
God, oh my God. I think that's the first time I ever saw anything like that in a movie. And I was like, he's funny. What's his deal?
Yeah.
I was too young to get it at the time. I was like, what's his deal? He's funny. That's a funny motherfucker. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then someone told me, I was like, nah, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh, okay.
Well, I'm sitting there because, you know, he says that in the movie. He goes, oh, you know, oh, but my boyfriend he thinks my hips are big, you know, he's talking. And I'm like, boyfriend? And I mean, I kind of got it, but I'm just like, all right. I mean, I just didn't think about it that much because, you know, super religious background growing up. And I just kind of went, all right, I'm going to put that one off to the side.
Yeah, Darth Haster throws out a good one, Tron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another movie I haven't seen for years and years, which is stupid because it was on Disney Plus. But I love the second one. The sequel was fantastic.
Yes, I don't know why people didn't like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why people didn't like that second movie. I loved it. I thought it was great. I didn't like what they did to Tron, but I completely understood that, okay, Tron didn't betray anybody. Tron got it. It's like they put a virus in Tron. And at the end of the movie, he's finally able to get past it and be like, I know who I am now. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it was, in fact, that's one I can watch just over and over. Oh my gosh, everybody's throwing out these really good movies. But see, that's the thing about the 80s. There is it's just like an unlimited amount of fantastic films to talk about. But oh yeah, Sammy Joe. She says James Spader's original Daniel Jack. I love James Spader. I love the new TV show that he was in. Now I just lost the name of it because I'm old. And
what was that one movie in that everybody threw a fit about? Everybody was throwing a fit about that damn movie. Sex, Lies, and Videotapes.
Oh.
Everybody threw a fit about that movie, and then I watched it, and I was like, dude, this is like nothing. Why is everyone throwing a fit about this? And it's like this is like B-roll fucking B movie, like Skinamax shit. Why is everybody like, no, you can't, we must take them down from the shelves? You're like, dude, I've got to see this movie. And then you see it and you're like, what the fuck, man?
The Blacklist. Thank you, Laurie Roberts. That's what I was trying to think of.
Kroll, Jedi Bill Kroll. Was Kroll in the 80s or was it in the 70s?
Yeah, that was in the 80s.
That was in the 80s. Damn.
I've got that one. I've got the one that makes it look like it's old, like the old video store case.
Yeah, I've got that. Yes, I got that for Highlander and a couple other movies too. That the case looks like the old video cassette.
Yeah.
Did you see the cases that Stranger Things came in? The special, dude, they are like the rental boxes, the rental VHX boxes from back in the day, dude. I got the 4K first season and 4K second season, and they came with Blu-rays and DVDs. And the cases, dude, are like, it is them. It's not just they look like them. They are thick. They open them with the little clickies, the old clickies that you used to open the VHS rentals. They've got the rental sticker, the yellow fucking dot with the 820, the hashtag 821 on it, dude. I absolutely love that shit. When I saw those, I was like, I gotta get both of them. They look like rental VHS cassette things. And dude, when you open it, the CDs are held in a cassette that opens. So it's got like the cassette on top with the please rewind and all that shit on it. And you open that, and that's where the discs are. Absolutely badass, dude. I love this. Since we're talking 80s, I'll bring it up.
Well, and that's the stuff. I mean, you feel that nostalgia, and that's the cool thing about that show was they really went all out for the nostalgia.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I was sitting there watching that the first time thinking, that's actually an 80s pop can. It's like, where the hell did they get that? Did they go to Pepsi and go, hey, can you make us about 50 of the original? You know, I'm just like, it just blew me away. I love that stuff. Getting pulled back into Nostalgiaville when a film or you know, a TV series does something right.
Well, you know, Coke did come out with a very limited edition of the what were they? The Coke 2. Was it Coke 2 or Coke
Oh
Plus?
yeah, New
Yeah,
Coke.
New Coke. That's what it was, New Coke. They came out with a very limited number of 12 pack of Coke, New Coke, made with the original formula. And they had those out, and it was a bitch to find it. People were selling like a 12 pack for $300 on eBay. I was like, you motherfuckers, man.
Hey, it's not toilet paper. What do you think this
Yeah.
is? You can't sell it for that kind of money.
Toilet paper.
But oh yeah, I think it was Adega threw out Willow. Willow was a fantastic movie.
Dude, oh man, Val Kilmer. Yes, and the redhead in that, son of a bitch. I do not remember her name. I'm gonna have to go find her right now.
Yeah, Val Kilmer actually ended up marrying her.
I remember hearing that, and of course that didn't work out.
Yeah,
it rarely does.
I hear Val Kilmer's a little bizarre behind the scenes, but I mean, we're all a little bizarre. But yeah, that I remember watching that movie over when it came out on VHS. I think I wore the tape out. You know, I'd watched it so many times.
Yeah, well, it's got Billy Barty in it. It's got Val Kilmer, and then it's got a whole bunch of people you never heard of before.
Yeah,
and,
it's just and the effects were great.
You know, yeah, the effects were great.
And they didn't and I love it when the effects actually add something to the movie instead of becoming the entire movie. So, I mean, that's what I hated about the Harry Potter films. They were so interested in making special effects. I felt like they forgot about what they were supposed to actually be telling the story about. And I'm like, all right, it's cool. The Whomping Willow's in another scene for 45 seconds. Why did we need that? You know, it's like, get back to, it's like we were talking about the one time with the Highlander movie. The Highlander is so good, and yet it is, you know, a special effects speaking wise, there's not a lot to it, but it's such a good film because they cared more about making the story than they did about making pretty flashes on the screen, you know. And
let's talk Star Trek. Yes, dude. Yeah. My dad had like a 57 Chevy sitting next to the VCR, and you put the tape in the 57 Chevy and closed it, and it would rewind it. Yes, dude, I remember that. The rewinders you'd have just to rewind a VHS. Oh, yeah. Dude, I completely forgot about that shit.
Yeah, those, and like you say, they did some really funny, different versions of it. Oh, real genius! Such a good movie.
And yeah, Purple Lady brings up a really good point. 80's had some fantastic fantasy films.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely fantastic fantasy films. Legend is one of my all-time favorites. Labyrinth is a really, really good movie. Willow, Dark Crystal, Excalibur. Man, yeah. Yes, absolutely wonderful. Weird Science. Someone threw out KP a star. Yeah, The Never-Ending Story. Yes, dude. Man, that movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, but I always cried my eyes out when Artex died, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, the horse didn't do anything to anybody. Oh, dude.
But I mean, that kid, I mean, what a portrayal. I mean, you actually really feel what he's going through when he loses his horse. Yes. I mean, that's pretty rare, because with most child actors, I just get irritated.
Yep.
I'm just like, you know, I'm like,
are you an angel?
Yeah.
A space angel. Oh my God, kid. Really? That's who you picked for Anakin?
Yeah.
Really? Are you an angel? Oh, no. That little shit ain't growing up to be the most terrible badass in all the galaxy.
He's going to grow up to be a meth dealer. Come on, let's just.
Yeah.
Oh, and Dune. Yes, number one sci-fi. Dune, one of my all-time favorites.
Jesse, everyone cried when the horse died. Atreyu was a trooper. Yes, he was. And you're right, Dune. Yeah, number one sci-fi, Dune, dude. You know what, man? I remember a lot of the people I hung out with in junior high hated that movie, and I was like the only one. I was like, hey, you know what? Let's. And I had like the extended version that was on Sci-Fi Channel or whatever the hell it was on,
Uh-huh.
and then the 3.5 hour version. And I'd watch that on a weekend, and they'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'm watching Dune again. Really? I'm like, yeah, dude, it's a badass movie. Oh, that movie sucks, man. I'm like, no, dude, no, hell no.
That's what all my friends said when they found out I was watching Star Trek 2 again. How many times can you watch that? All of them. I don't know, a million, whatever the number is. I can watch it that many times.
Hellraiser, Adega Outlaw, Hellraiser. Hell yeah. Adega, if you go to the Discord and you look in the Loki's old videos, the very first one on there is the very first video I ever made, and that was inspired by Hellraiser. And Hellraiser is actually cut into that video that I did. And I did that, I was just screwing around one day with Windows Movie Maker. I was like, I want to make a badass video, like Hellraiser type video, and dragons and shit blowing up and horror. And I threw Legend in there. I threw Reign of Fire. I threw Hellraiser, 2 different Hellraiser movies. And of course, I had to have the one with what's her name off of Deep Space Nine, Jadzia Dax. The actress who played Jadzia Dax is actually in one of the Hellraiser movies. So, of course, I had to throw her in there because I was, Star Trek, yay. Nina Green, the Goonies.
Oh, Goonies.
What did they made him do at the beginning of the movie? The Chuckle Fluff or the
Truffle Shuffle.
Truffle Shuffle. God.
All right, Michael Jackson didn't come over to my house, Bran, but his sister did.
Yeah.
Chunk, he's so funny. He could have been such an obnoxious character, but he really helps make that, especially when he and the Sloth team up together. I mean, they're so funny.
Thank you, Josh and Rebecca Momney. Yes, Terry Farrell. I'm shit with names, guys. I really am. And so if that's my one like Achilles heel, it's remembering names, especially in the morning. They're like, why don't you do a night show? Because nobody was doing a morning show.
And the ambassador here a minute ago, he was saying that he felt nothing when the horse died. Whatever.
Dude. Yeah, don't bullshit us, ambassador. You were like, damn it. And Loki's like, son of a bitch. And
you were blowing snot bubbles and everything. Yeah. You were so upset.
God, the horse.
Oh, the Explorers. Yes, that was a good one.
Explorers. Dude, that had, what's his name? Phoenix. Wasn't it?
Joaquin. Yeah.
Joaquin and who the hell else was in there?
Jacqueline. I don't know how you say it, but he was in The Last Crusade. He played young Indy.
I can't remember. It's that one kid that passed away.
Yeah, it's Joaquin's brother.
Yeah. And he died at like 20.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, committed suicide.
It was because he was in Sneakers too. That Sneakers was his last movie. And he was that young kid, dude.
River. There you go. Rivers. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you. River was so badass, dude. I absolutely loved him when I was a kid. When I found out he died, that was like the first time I think I remember anybody going out that way and having to have it explained to me, because I really liked him and I loved him in Explorers. And it was weird. It was so weird to what they did, and having to, why would someone do that? You're just a kid. You don't get it,
Yeah, and you think, oh, so much talent. I mean, just imagine what he would have went on to do. Because I mean, he was in one of the best Indiana Jones films. He did a lot of stuff before he was even that old.
And
But
you call yourself an 80s aficionado, Ambassador. I am disappointed. I don't know if I want you in my 80s discussion now. If you haven't seen Never Ending Story.
Take away his card.
Yeah, you're losing your 80s card right there, dude. Gosh. Man, seriously, you've never seen the Never Ending Story, Ambassador. See, some people can be excused of that. I'm sure if there's, a 20-something-year-old in here, then they can be excused of that. Maybe even in early 30s. But you, sir? Nah, You can't have not seen the Never Ending. Yeah, cancel the Ambassador. Thank you, Samantha. Yeah. Even Kathy is like, what? Oh shit!
What was the name of the wolf creature in that movie? I'm drawing a blank. Does anybody know?
Smoke or the wolf in the Never Ending Story? I'm looking.
Somebody in chat's gonna get it before I can think of it. I'm sure, but oh crap!
Gmork.
Yeah, that's what. But I remember that freaked me out when it pans into that cave and his eyes turn green and all of a sudden he just lunges out and you just get a real quick view of him. I'm like, as a kid, I'm just like, I think I peed a little.
Yeah. And he like launches out of the hole. You're like, oh, my bitch.
Ooh, yes, Team Wolf. That's another good one. But yeah, that I don't know, that whole movie, that Never Ending Story. I mean, as a kid, that's right out of your dreams and fantasies and nightmares, when he has to face the gates and stuff like that. It was really freaky. It's just like, man, this is what a kid feels and thinks and would have to deal with. And I don't know, I think that's why it does, did so well.
Yeah, what it does when he's walking up to the gates, dude, and the eyes, it's the eyes, dude. You're like, oh shit, they're gonna get him. And yeah, dude, you're like, dude, your heart's pumping, and you're like, run, dude, just run past that. Oh man.
And the little old guy, that's watching him.
Yeah,
it's like having the audience right there in the film saying what you would say, and yeah, it's just such a good movie. Somebody else just said they didn't like it. Who was that?
Mark definitely tired.
Mark. You're too tired. You just don't remember how much you liked it. That's what it is.
And Purple Lady says Falcor was one of my favorite dragons. Everyone loved Falcor.
Everybody did.
Everybody loved Falcor.
If I remember right, the guy that did the voice for Falcor was also one of the voices for He-Man in the cartoons.
Yes.
Or he was one of the characters. I can't remember which character, but he was in, he did one of the voices for that. But
they live. Yeah. They live.
Oh, yeah. I was never a big horror fan in the 80s. Usually I only watched horror films when I was trying to get a girl to snuggle up to me. And it was always Friday the 13th. You'd go to a party and it never failed. Somebody put in Friday the 13th. It's just like, I've seen this so many times. It's just not scary anymore. Yeah.
Dun, dun. Jason,
look, the kids are doing something stupid. I wonder if they're going to get killed. Oh, yep, they're dead.
Oh, that dude, I could not believe I watched Jason X until I got to the part where the two girls were standing there topless in the woods in that holographic program. And they're like, do you want to smoke some pot and have premarital sex? And he's like, you're like, yeah, get him. And he's got him in a sleeping bag and he's bashing him against the tree. And I'm just laughing my ass up. I'm like, okay, money well spent. Money well spent. I can justify the money spent. Because I just laughed my ass off for 10 minutes because he's bashing them to hell in a sleeping bag. And they're like, oh my God, stop. Boom, boom, boom.
That's too
I
funny.
am Skeletor. Yes, yes, Purple Lady. Skeletor. That was the only best part of that E-Man movie was Skeletor.
Yeah.
He did great. Everybody else, I was like, what the hell happened?
I was
He-Man
like,
said,
really? You brought it to our world? That's not what everybody wanted to see. We wanted to be in their world.
That's right. And Dolph Lundgren says like 3 words in that entire movie, and that's because he was coked out of his mind when he did it.
And I think the words were,
yeah. No, no, no. And you're like, what did he say? Just keep rolling. We'll hammer it out in post-production.
Well, if somebody else does dub his lips.
It was like the one time everyone wanted Skeletor to win.
Yeah.
Damn.
He-Man's
Just take
like
out
so
Eternia,
bad.
brother. They ruined it. They ruined it. Just take out Eternia, dude, and keep it.
You know, one of my all-time favorite 80s films has got to be Aliens. That's like, out of all, like I said, I was never a huge gore fan, but I remember being subjected to the first one, and it gave me nightmares for like 6 months. But by the time the second one came along, I was so into it, and I've seen that film so many times, and everybody uses it as like the perfect example of like a female hero. I'm like, that's how you do it, you know, and there's a reason for that because she did it, you know, way better than anybody's doing it right now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that movie just has it all. Game over, man. I mean, it's got some of the greatest cast. I mean, just I don't know. There's not enough good to say about that movie. I wish they'd go through and like really clean it up and you know, just do a re-release of it and completely remaster it.
They did do a updated version, the director's cut version, where Cameron talks at the beginning, and I have that one. And Cameron talks about, it was supposed to be, you know, 3 hours of bad road, and it ended up being like 2 hours of bad road. How much they cut out of it, but they did do a re-release, and dude, the picture's better. I know that because I've got it on Blu-ray. The picture is a lot better, and you can see things. Like you can actually see the eagle with the boots on it, and it says Bug Stompers on the side of the ship as it's landing on the landing pad at the beginning of the movie. You're like, hell yes, Bug Stompers.
See, I don't think I've ever seen that, and so I need to go find that copy of it and to watch, just because it's such an epic film. The storyline for that was so good.
That is on the first drop ship. On the second drop ship, it says something else, and it's got a different animal on it. But on the first drop ship, the one that explodes in the middle of the movie, as it touches down and releases the APC, you can see it clear as damn day on the side of the ship. And I think you can see it before they ever do the drop. But yeah, it's an eagle with its wings spread out and 2 boots coming down on a bug, and it says Bug Stompers, like a roach or something. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't remember what it was. Someone dropped something. I'm trying to find it. Someone dropped something. Damn it. Kick him in the nards. Yes, Kathia. Jaws. That's not what I was thinking of, but Jaws. Gordon's alive. Yes, Josh and Rebecca Momini. Finally. Yes, I know you've thrown that out there like 3 times. Yes. Gordon's alive. Yes. Flash Gordon's alive. Fly.
Yes.
Yes.
Such a good movie.
Absolutely. And Road Warrior. That was the other one. Mad Max, and yes, the Road Warrior.
Yeah, I took my family to Universal Studios here about 5 years ago, and I mean, it's not the Road Warrior, but they're actually still doing like the Water World.
No shit. Seriously?
I was just like, are you kidding? This is still an attraction here? But it always reminds me because it's like Road Warrior on the water.
Yep.
You know, and stuff. But I mean, not nearly as good, but I couldn't believe it. I was just like, and it's a huge, really involved area. So I'm just like, they probably just don't want to tear it down because it's, it took so much money to build this huge pool and the whole 9 yards that that they use for that.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, I've got the what is it, the Ultimate Blu-ray edition. I don't know if you've ever seen that. If you get the Ultimate Blu-ray edition, you get like it's got 45 more minutes than the regular version. And what they did was there's 3 different versions of that movie. There's the original theatrical release, there is the overseas theatrical release, and then there's a TV version of the movie that all have different shit in it.
It's like, hey, we want you to buy this at least 60 times before you're done with your collection.
Yeah, and they did that. They did that with Army of Darkness too, which was really weird. They've got a TV version, a UK version, and a US version. And they all have different scenes and different stuff in them that the others don't, right? It's like, okay, well, wait a minute. You've got this, it was replaced with this, and you've got an extension here, and we've got an extended scene here. What the hell, man? They did the same thing with Waterworld, and you got to wonder why. Just throw the whole movie in there and let us watch it. Now, like, it's too long. We won't make enough money. Shut up, dude. We want to see it.
Trust me, if it's a good movie, we'll sit there for 6 hours.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's Adega, yeah, he's chastising us, and rightly so. Ghostbusters.
Goes the Gozerian, the traveler has come.
My girls are like huge Ghostbuster fans because I made them watch it when they were young and stuff. And the teaser trailer for the new Ghostbusters came out with, where you just see the end of Ecto 1 and you hear the creepy music from the original film, and and then you hear the positron collider click on, and my girls lost their minds over that trailer. They were so excited because all of us hated the 2016 version so bad. We're just like, oh yes, they're gonna go back to the real thing, and I don't know. Then the real trailer came out, and I'm like, well, maybe. I'm not so sure now, but I mean, Ghostbusters is just, it's so good. Both of them. I like both of them.
New trailer. I love that new trailer, man. When you hear Ecto ramp up, and it's like, wah,
yeah.
Wah. I was like, yeah, and then the door pops out like it did on the cartoon. I was like, yes, yes. I am hoping they don't fuck that up, guys.
I know.
That up, and they're like, there has been no ghost sightings for 30 years. I'm like, yeah, you guys right there. You guys are that 2016 shit didn't happen. It didn't happen. That was all in their minds. It didn't happen.
That's an alternate universe of awful that we just don't have to deal with.
Yes. Where, dude, apparently Peter Venkman isn't cut out to be Ghostbusters material.
Yeah.
Bitch. Yeah, I do call her that. Somebody running tattle on me and say, Loki did this. Well, damn right I did. Telling Peter Venkman he ain't Ghostbusters material. You can kiss my fat white ass.
Yeah, no doubt.
And everybody, Deagle. Everybody wanted a Gizmo growing up. Everybody wanted a Gizmo growing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was
Dude, but you know what? I got to throw a couple more in here before we get out of here. Tango and Cash, dude.
Oh yes,
Tango and Cash.
See, that's when Sylvester Stallone was really at his best. I mean, he's come back and he's done some pretty good stuff since, but yeah. I mean, in the 80s, he was at his height. Cliffhanger, Tango and Cash. I mean, which teamed him up with. Just lost his name. Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell, yeah.
And that thing that they build at the end, it's like a jacked up Suburban or something like that they use to go after the drug guys. Yep. I remember looking at that going, I so want one of those.
Yes. Damn straight. Absolutely damn straight, dude.
But yeah, there's been a lot of them being thrown out in the chat here, and now they're like way back up high. But yeah, there's so many, you just almost can't keep up with all of them.
Die Hard.
Oh, Fletch. Robert Pearson.
Was Die Hard in the 90s or the 80s?
Um,
Original Die Hard.
I can't remember actually. I think it was at the tail end of the 80s. But don't quote me on that.
1988. Yep.
Yeah.
Tail end of the 80s.
Yep.
Yeah. You can't. I was sure it was in the 80s. You can't talk 80s movies and not bring up Die Hard though.
All right.
That was like just they were transitioning a little bit into the 90s. You've got Die Hard, you've got Predator, you've got Aliens. It was so badass. The era. It was like, let's pull out a shitload of badass movies and just kick ass.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, Die Hard, Alan Rickman is one of the funniest, best villains, for that kind of movie that I've ever seen. I loved Alan Rickman. He was hilarious in almost everything he ever did. And he totally goes into whatever role he's doing, and I just love the way he did stuff like that. I mean, he was just fantastic. I was really sad when he passed away. I'm like, oh man, we've lost another great British actor. Yep.
And Keely Chow, Roll Tide, Keely, Roll Tide, brother. Yes, the Terminator.
Oh yes.
TV Star brings up The Wizard. That for a gaming movie, for a movie about games, man, that was a kick-ass movie. I remember watching the dad, like get into Ninja Turtles, and he's all freaking out. And Christian Slater's like, "Have you been up all night?" He's like, "Yeah, I got the Ninja Scroll and I got this." And I was like that. And I was like, "Oh my God, it's my dad." Finally figured out how to play, and now he won't get off. I'm like, dude. I wake up Saturday morning, running there to play, and he's like, dun, 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 and I'm like, dude, it's mine. Like, no, I'm the 89th level on Mario Brothers. And I'm like, give it back, give it.
So I don't know if you remember the game Phantasy Star.
Yes.
It was the original Sega's.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Me and my cousin, I don't know how many, we probably lost an entire summer or two on that game.
Oh yeah.
Just, I don't know. It just, and I think back now and I'm like, the graphics would probably be terrible if I had to go back and look at those again, but it was so cool at the time. It's I don't know, things that stick with you and you remember forever.
Dude, I worked for my brother for a month one summer. I can't remember how old I was, but I think I was like 11 or 12. And I got paid. So I was like, woohoo, payday, right? And I remember my dad picking me up and he's like, all right. And I'm like, we are stopping at Toys R Us on the way home. And he's like, you're going to buy a toy? I'm like, no. And I walk in there and they're the only place that had it, right? They're the only place that had it you could buy. Nobody else had it. Game stores weren't a giant thing then. So it was a niche thing. So you had to go to certain places to get good stuff.
Yeah.
And I walk over, dude, and it is the most expensive game on the wall. And he's like, "You're gonna spend that much on a game?" I'm like, "Yes." I called the lady over and I'm like, "I want that copy of Final Fantasy II for Super Nintendo." And it was like, oh.
The light descends.
Yes, and it's like the red box with the black outline on it. And I'm like, yes, yes, finally I don't have to rent it anymore over and over and over again. It's mine. It's mine. Oh shit. But yeah, dude, rest of that summer in seclusion, they like open the door and there's cobwebs and shit, and they look in there, and I've got a beard, I'm a 12-year-old with a white beard, and I'm like, I can't stop. I have to get to the Dwarven city and get the airship and fly it to the Tower of Babylon.
Your parents are like, should we be worried about what he's doing?
Yeah.
No, he's fine. It's all right. He's still alive.
It's fine. I was like Bilbo. I'm going on an adventure.
Oh yes, Back to the Future. Good movie. Good movie.
Bill, I think you mean Bull Durham. Pretty sure you mean Bull Durham. Yes. Oh my God. Yes, I love that movie. I absolutely love that movie. If any of y'all have not seen Bull Durham and you like baseball, watch Bull Durham. I think Bull Durham to me is a better movie than Major League. Major League is funnier, but I think Bull Durham's a better movie.
See, and I like the movie The Natural. I don't know if you've ever saw that one.
Yes. Hell yeah, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, it brings that bat out. They're like, what is that? What's that lightning bolt on there? We're going to have to weigh this and test it and make sure it passes. He's like, yeah, a bolt of lightning struck a tree outside my window when I was a kid, and I made that bat out of it. And they're like, dun-dun, 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 dun-dun.
There was some dang good sports movies made during the 80s that I don't know. Occasionally you get one now, but it's just a different feel, you know? I don't know if you remember Mr. Destiny with
James
Belushi.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. That's kind of it centers around that one ball that he doesn't hit. And that's why I always think of it as a sports movie, but I love that film.
When his new wife has the Christmas party and after, and she's like, happy birthday, dear. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, oh, and his lips quivering. And he's like, holy shit. Yeah, absolutely.
He's so funny. I love that guy. He just makes me laugh.
Lady Mist, Beetlejuice,
yes. That's how he ended up with the role for Batman. Was they saw him in Beetlejuice and it was all in his eyes. I remember the director saying it was just because of his eyes that they wanted him to be the Batman movie or be Batman and stuff because, that he has such expressive eyes. And I'm just like, well, that's kind of an interesting way of casting, but okay. But he did. He turned out to be a fantastic Batman.
You want to get nuts? Come on.
Yeah.
Get nuts.
Let's get nuts.
He's mild mannered Bruce Wayne, but on the inside, total complete
raving lunatic. But I did. But that's back when I thought, what's his name? The guy that plays the husband, Alec Baldwin. That's back when I thought he was cool.
Did you ever read the Funeral for a Friend? After Superman died, when they're burying Superman, did you ever read the comics? In that, Batman and Robin are kind of making sure that the funeral parade goes off without a hitch, and this guy's gonna bomb the funeral parade, and Batman and Robin catch him, and Robin's like, "Should we kick the shit out of him, Batman?" And he's like, "No. We'll do it his way today." And I'm like, damn, dude, because I hadn't read DC Comics in a long time. The last time I read DC Comics, it was like Batman, doesn't do anything like that. Now it's like, no, we'll just break his arm today. That'll teach him. And you're like, damn, dude. Damn.
Go Batman.
Yeah, go Batman. No, today we'll do it his way. We'll only break his arm. And you're like, damn, dude. It's like, son of a bitch, man. What happened? What changed in DC? Every time I read a DC comic, you are like, yes, truth, justice, and the American way. And Batman was like, we don't hurt anybody. We just capture them and take them to jail. And it's like, no, we'll only break his arm today, Robin.
He ain't called the Dark Knight for nothing.
Yeah. Lady Miss the Shinin. Yes, the Shinin. I know it's but yeah, Shinin. Oh yes, I love that movie too, and I liked the Doctor Sleep. I'm sorry if anybody didn't like it. I really like Doctor Sleep.
See, I've never seen either of those because I'm just not a huge horror fan, which I know is totally wrong, but I should go watch it because I watched Ready Player One, and they used that a lot.
They did
in one of the parts of that film, which that's another movie. I know it's not 80s, but I freaking love that movie because it has so much 80s stuff in it.
Yes.
I don't know. A lot of people I don't think cared for that movie, but I was like, because it starts out with Van Halen. You can't go wrong when a movie starts out with Van Halen.
No.
So,
And you know what, guys? On that note, I know we could sit here and talk for the next hour. We could. I know we could sit there and talk for the next hour. But I have got to run up, and I've got to do something and try and get back here before the Valkyrie stream, guys. So I want to thank Speaker so much. Thank you, Brian, for being here this morning. Thank you very much, brother.
you bet. It was great.
Guys, before I forget, because I will forget, I'm like, oh my God, I am going to let me get your channel pulled up here so I can share it. Of course, I didn't do that. Guys, if you are not subscribed to Speaker for the Dead, go over, check out his channel. It is right there. There is the link. Check out his content. And guys, if you like it, please subscribe and ring that bell so you can get more content from Speaker. Brian is a great guy. He's very insightful. He's wonderful to talk to. And check out his channel, guys. Check out his channel. It'll totally be worth it. And thank you again for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Loki. I appreciate it. That was very kind.
Oh, anytime, dude. Anytime. This has been absolutely awesome. Just hit me up, dude, and we will get you back on here.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for being here, everybody. It was fun watching you guys in the chat. I love being a part of the chat. Today, I actually got to kind of sit back and watch it, which was cool.
Oh, thank you, brother. And thank you, everybody. Thank you to my wrenches, Purple Lady, Samantha Joe, and Captain Shrek. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for coming in and watching this morning. We will catch you guys. If I can do a game stream later today, I'm going to do a game stream. I'll do a test stream to make sure this works before I do Batman again, because I don't want it interrupted again. So I'll do a game stream with something else that's just that I can just mess around with and test and make sure it's going to work. And we will get back to Batman probably Wednesday. So for everybody out there, thank you very much, and we will catch you guys later.
Bye.